Welcome to WNL Sports Weekly. I'm Jeremy Franklin. This week we'll speak with football coach Scott Abell, men's soccer captain Kevin Molnar, and field hockey captain Grace Bowen. But first, a quick look back at the weekend in Washington and Lee athletics. Women's soccer picked up its fifth straight shutout win, besting Randolph 7-0 on the road. Men's soccer dropped a 2-1 decision at home to Bridgewater. Women's cross country placed 6th at Dickinson's Long Short Invitational, while the men's team came in 17th at Lehigh's Paul Short Run. In men's tennis, two doubles teams advanced to the quarterfinals of the ITA Southeast Region Championships at Mary Washington. Men's golf finished in 6th place at Ohio Wesleyan's Gordon Collegiate Classic, while women's golf tied for 2nd at their own Generals Invitational. And football opened up ODAC play by dropping a 45-42 shootout on the road against Emory and Henry. With me here in the studio is football coach Scott Abell. Scott, welcome back to the show.
Thanks, Jeremy.
It was a tough last-second loss for the Generals down on the road in Emory. How do you bounce back from that kind of defeat?
Well, you bounce back with great leadership. I think this team is really built on great leadership. Our seniors have done a fantastic job leading the way for our program this entire season, and without question, we'll bounce back and be ready for our next opponent, which is WashU.
WNL lost several key skill position players from 2016, including several guys in the offensive backfield, and yet you're still second in Division III in rushing yards per game, averaging 394 so far. How is the offense coming along this year?
Oh, we're pleased where we are. We knew there would be an adjustment period, there'd be a growth period, but we give a ton of credit to our kids, the kids who stepped in and to fill those shoes. But those kids have been playing a lot of football. Matt Scro's played a lot of football in his time here, and now it's his turn to completely run the show. And McKenna Johnston, he's played a lot of football, and Josh Malm and Walker Brand and all those guys who've been running all over the field in some not so key roles, but just some more roles that didn't they didn't get the football a ton because our seniors did last year. Now they're the ones that are benefiting from those touches, and we're proud of what they've done, and it's a system. This is year 10 of our system, and I think our guys, our coaching staff knows recruiting wise who fits what we do, and so we're excited about what we're doing, but we know we got to get better.
What are the strengths of the team on the defensive side of the ball?
Well, I think defensively, we're fairly senior laden. We're very experienced. I really believe our strength is our back seven. There's so much experience back there, but we've seen a tremendous amount of growth in our front. Those guys played last year. We graduated some kids up front, but we played a lot of kids last year, and that's really benefiting us now. I think, and we're young. We're still very sophomore laden, and we have a freshman making a big impact on our front right now, and those kids have come a long ways.
Based on early season results, the ODAC appears to be wide open this fall. How can the Generals work their way back into the conference race?
Well, I think for us the key is really catching our breath and focusing 1 week at a time. This league is very balanced. I'd be shocked if at the end of the season there weren't 3 or 4 teams, going into the last week of the season all in the mix. And so for us, we got to get healthy, and we got to continue to improve each day and focus 1 week at a time. We can't look ahead, and you can't try to put pressure on yourself, and instead just how do we get better today.
Scott, thanks for joining us. Best of luck with the rest of the season.
Thanks, Jeremy.
I'm joined now by Kevin Molnar, senior soccer captain from Mendham, New Jersey. Kevin, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
WNL suffered its first 2 defeats of the season last week. You dropped close games to Lynchburg and Bridgewater. How is the team looking to bounce back as you prepare for more tough ODAC matches this week?
Well, last week in our 2 games, we kind of strayed away from the style of soccer we wanted to play. And this week in practice, we've been focusing a lot on getting back to that style of soccer, trying to keep the ball more and not be dominated by other teams in the sense where we let them impose their game on us, and trying to have more of a dominant role ourselves and force them to play a style that suits us better.
You're part of a very large and very talented group of midfielders. How can the Generals capitalize on that depth?
Well, I think for the past couple of years, our depth has been one of the strongest parts of our team. We really have anyone on the team that can come in at any point, and there won't be a drop-off in play. Everyone's just as good and can play the same role or different roles in better or equal ways. So if there's an injury, we really don't lose anything there. And also, later in games, we can put fresh guys on and play other teams off the field and their guys that have been tired and running around for the last 90 minutes.
It's nothing but ODAC matches for the rest of the regular season. What are your expectations for the rest of the conference schedule?
I mean, we're expecting a tough conference, as it always is. The ODAC always has a whole bunch of good teams, and as we've seen so far, those teams have really come out to play this year. So we're hoping to win the rest of our games, but we're not expecting any easy matches or any teams to roll over.
What do you hope to see Washington and Lee accomplish during your senior season?
I mean, right now the goal is to finish the regular season strong and make it into the ODAC play. Honestly, we'd hope and are trying to do our best to host the ODAC tournament this year, but given our start, it's not entirely in our own hands now. But with a little bit of luck, we're hoping to host and win out the ODAC tournament, and then beyond that, we're looking to make a run if we can. We've had experience the past couple years, and I firmly believe, and I think most of the team believes, this is a year where we can actually make a deep run into the tournament if we put everything together.
Kevin, thanks for joining us. Best of luck the rest of the way.
Thanks for having me.
Here with me now is Grace Bowen, senior field hockey captain from Hampton, Virginia. Grace, welcome to the show.
Hi, Jeremy.
In the team's ODAC opener last Wednesday, the Generals saw a 3-0 lead slip away against Lynchburg, but you rebounded to beat the Hornets 4-3 in overtime. How big was that win for the team?
That was a huge win for us. As you know, the Lynchburg Hornets had been undefeated in the ODAC since our 2015 season. They had won like 9 championships in a row, and we ended that reign in our 15 season and defeated them at home. And so it's always a huge win. They come out on fire against us, and we usually put up a good fight. So it's good to go into the ODAC play with that win under our belts.
All 5 of the Generals' victories this year have come by 1 goal. 4 of those have been in overtime. What's made W&L so successful in close games?
I think, we have a deep bench this year. We have a lot of depth, and so a lot of good people subbing in, giving people breaks, and that really gives us a chance to give it our all when we're on the field and push out through those close games and our many overtime wins. So.
On this year's roster, the first years and sophomores outnumber the upperclassmen by roughly a 2-to-1 margin. You're one of the captains on the team with so many young players. How do you view that role?
We have 6 upperclassmen, and it's important for us to make sure that they all know that their voices are important, and so are the first years and the sophomores. We make sure everyone knows that they're crucial on and off the field, and if they have something to say, we leave it open for them to speak up and show that they have leadership on the team as well. With so many young players, it's important that they know that they have a place on the team.
The Lynchburg win was big, of course, but it only counts once in the ODAC standings. What does the team need to do to maintain that high level of play throughout the conference schedule?
In the first half of the Lynchburg game, we really played well together. We had successful passes and movement on the field. And I think if we keep that up through both halves of all our conference games, then we'll be very competitive in the conference play. Continuing to work together, play together as a team, and encourage each other and push each other on the field is going to be crucial in these next games.
Grace, thanks for joining us. Good luck with the rest of the year.
Thank you, Jeremy.
It's time now for a look at the upcoming weekend. Volleyball heads up to Maryland for 3 big non-conference matches. The Generals will visit number 23 Johns Hopkins on Friday, followed by contest against Stevenson and 12th-ranked Juniata on Saturday. Back in Lexington, there's a full slate of home action for Parents and Family Weekend. Football will play host to Washington University, while women's soccer takes on ODAC rival Lynchburg. Field hockey meets Randolph-Macon at the turf field, and men's soccer will wrap up the afternoon by facing Roanoke. For W&L Sports Weekly, I'm Jeremy Franklin. Thanks for watching.